Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, the series and where I fucking just wanna die. Anyway, so Donald Trump Jr. posted a meme. I'm getting really cringing. I'm cringing really hard every time I see anybody who's over the age of 25 say meme in this context. It's really cringy. But Donald Trump Jr. tweeted a meme out, and here's the meme. See you later, alligator. In a while, pedophile. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say I told you so. I knew this was going to happen. I told literally everybody who watched any of my videos 3 months ago how this was going to happen. Now, how do we define pedophile? I personally define pedophile as someone who inappropriately touches young women or young men, I guess, boys and girls, little children, somebody who touches them inappropriately, somebody who's sexually attracted by young people, and that's what I define pedophile as. I don't define pedophile as having a secret sex ring where you anally fucking, that's not the definition of pedophile. That's the definition of Jeffrey Epstein, right? So the thing is, Joe Biden basically, apparently he responded to this in some capacity, but I could not find the response anywhere. But basically people called him out for calling Biden a pedophile, and then he responded with this, and this is the problem. Can I click that? Yes, I can. This is the problem, is that this, looking at this image, and there's more, right? There's literally dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of these videos and photos, right? This is impossible. Anybody who's saying that Biden has no history of touching young girls, literal children under the age of 10, anyone who's saying that is a liar. And this is my problem with these people, is you can say Biden is better than Trump. You can say a Biden administration would be more competent than a Trump administration. Those are facts. But as soon as you start carrying water to lie for Joe Biden, that, in my opinion, is where you lose credibility, right? You can't look at these images and not think, Jesus Christ, this guy's a pedophile. There is 0% of normal, well-adjusted human beings would see these images and think, wow, Joe Biden's a really nice guy for children. This is factual here. This is a factual statement of fact. And them trying to turn this, it's just a conspiracy theory. Ooh, you know what I mean? It's look at this. Donald Trump Jr. is literally destroying these people. And this is what I hate about it, is the right is so good at creating these fake news, massive stir-ups, right? When they've got an actual fucking thing on their hands. For example, this is a clear example of media literally printing manufactured consent and lies about Joe Biden. And if you have video evidence, which is what I've been saying for fucking 6 months now, if you have video evidence of this guy touching inappropriately people less than 10 years old, right? And specifically it's 99% girls, right? If you have video evidence of that, why would you not use it? And then if you're going to be so fucking bizarre that you're going to tell people to not believe their lying eyes, this is fake news. This is a deep fake. This is a deep fake from 2009. Yeah, this is a fucking deep fake. This isn't real. This is CGI. It's what kind of lie, what kind of web of lies do you need to spin yourself into to convince yourself that Joe Biden is not a sexual predator or a pedophile? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a pedophile. Am I going to go out there and make a huge campaign of calling him a pedophile? No, because I don't really know what that accomplishes for me specifically. But at the same time, again, do I think he's a pedophile? I think this is pedophilic behavior. This alone is behavior that a pedophile would do. That is factual. He's on tape doing this to a fucking young girl. That's a pedophile. That is something that a pedophile does. Whether or not it's intentional, it's not oops, I accidentally fucking molested you. That's not a thing. That's not maybe like in some anime, harem anime or whatever, like where someone like falls and then lands their face on someone's titties or something. This is not that situation. Like look at that. Look at this video evidence. Video evidence. This is not a deep fake. This is not CGI. So anybody spending their time defending Joe Biden on this issue, you are a piece of shit. I'm sorry. You are a terrible person. You are the same person who thinks, oh, Epstein killed himself, and oh, Epstein, I had no idea that was happening. Oh, Bill Clinton must have just coincidentally been best friends with Epstein. You are a fucking moron if you don't believe that Joe Biden is at the very least, and I fucking hate that I'm even saying this, but the very least a sexual predator. That is like the absolute minimum. If you're going to even deny that he's a sexual predator, I am sorry, but you are terrible and you need to lose your job. You are a disgusting villain. You are a terrible scumbag. But like, this is just one of those things where, again, he is on tape doing this disgusting garbage to tell people out there that, oh, don't believe your lying eyes. What you are watching in real time, what these video archives show, like, it's obviously fake. It's CGI. Like no. Okay, and this is the problem. Is if Republicans are the ones accurately saying that this stuff is creepy, 99% of people, especially like parents or people with like younger siblings or something, would find this absolutely reprehensible. Like, I've spoken to people that say the sexual assault allegations, the rape allegations, and the pedophilia allegations are enough to just not want to invest any time in the Biden campaign, and I don't blame them. I'm in the same way. I'm not going to do any phone banking for Biden. I'm not going to do any door knocking for Biden, not that I could in a pandemic anyway. I'm not going to donate to Biden. Like, I'm on his email list just because sometimes I like to screenshot the fucking garbage because it's really cringy and it's really fun to laugh at. But that's about it. Okay? So it's like one of those things where it's just like, if you're going to carry water for this man, if you're going to dedicate your career to lying for him, to saying, oh no, he's totally just a nice young, he's just a great guy, he's super nice, and he loves women, he's great for women, you are just a terrible person. Again, you can say strategically voting for whoever's going to beat Donald Trump is better than voting for Donald Trump or not voting because Donald Trump is terrible. I believe that. I will vote for whoever has the highest likelihood of beating Donald Trump, like when November happens, if November happens, right? Like, but at the same time, I am not going to sit here and tell you that just because Joe Biden is the guy, which he might not even be the guy in November, right? And that's the thing. If like Joe Biden ends up being swapped out, which is very likely, right? Like all these people that are going like doing this bullshit, like writing these articles about how, oh, this is baseless, it's a conspiracy theory, right? Like all these people doing that are going to have egg on their face. And then people are going to remember, like, didn't you defend a pedophile? Like, just 3 months ago? Why should I pay attention to you? And this is what makes the Trump re-election so much more feasible and so much more like horrifying, is that the opposition is controlled and nullified and muzzled, and anybody who actually has any sort of leg to stand on has been completely shot down. Like the best case scenario for Biden is like, yeah, he's a pedophile, but he's still better than Donald Trump, who's also probably a pedophile too. Like it's one of those things where it's just like the best of both racists, the best of both rapists, and like it's just like it's a terrible scenario that we found ourselves in. And again, when you put people in a situation where they feel like they need to vote defensively, this is what happens. This is centuries of propaganda. I was going to say decades, but this is centuries of propaganda manifesting in this bizarre scandal. And again, if Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. and the whole Trump administration, that whole like axis can do this, they can totally depress the vote with this like sexual assault shit easily, 1000%. And all they need to do is depress the vote in certain states by just enough. Like, up 3,000 people here, 2,000 people here, only 60 people there in that county. All they need to do is do these algorithms, and I'm guessing that that's what they're spending all their time on, is moving the needle in those specific districts and in those counties. And that's why you have all these AstroTurf protests and bizarre like locations that are like in swing states conveniently. You have Michigan terrorism, like people, armed terrorists going into the Michigan State House House, not to protest for freedom, not to protest for wage increases, not to protest for prison abolition or, something good, but to protest to spread the coronavirus and kill more people. That's why we're living in this universe, because the opposition is either completely muzzled and controlled, or just so goddamn stupid and so goddamn spineless and so goddamn morally bankrupt that the best they can do is just saying fake news when there's video evidence of Biden touching an 8-year-old's breasts. Fake news! That's CGI, that's a deep fake. When, hello, anybody with a brain, anybody with eyeballs knows that that's not true. So it's just, again, it's unbelievable bullshit. And you can't blame them for doing anything that they can. And again, Donald Trump Jr.'s father is significantly more of a rapist, significantly more aligned with pedophiles than Biden was, but that doesn't matter because they don't have anything. They don't claim to have the moral high ground. They will just use the moral high ground in specific circumstances to spread their propaganda, and that's what they excel at. And for whatever reason, I can figure this out. A 23-year-old sitting in her bedroom can figure this out, but the entire mainstream media apparatus filled with millionaires and journalists that have well-paid salaries can't figure it out? What the fuck? Oh, obviously, there's something going on with that. Manufacturing consent. Read it, because that's what this is.